Hello and welcome to the Bears and Lions podcast. This is the podcast where we challenge our present by viewing our past. I'm a firm believer that our greatest future lies within the correct view of our past, because when you actually look at it, you find that, you've probably gone through some things, but it's prepared you to be exactly where you are right now, and it should give you the confidence to step into your future, which is exactly what we're going to do. Now, today, it's a little bit of a shorter episode, but I want to talk to you about opportunity and connection, because there is a realistic viewpoint that we have in connecting with people, and sometimes we overwhelm ourselves thinking that we need to connect with everyone, and that's not the case. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button and share this with a friend or two. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, I am so thankful for you. Make sure that you share this with a friend and hit that follow button. If you want to find me on my socials, you can find me on TikTok or X, which is formerly known as Twitter, and that's at Kyle Vaught. That's KYLE as in Victor ATT. Or if you want to follow me on Instagram or Threads, it's Kyle_Vaught, V as in Victor ATT. Thank you so much. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll see you on the other side. Today, I want to talk to you about specifically connections, but also the momentum and the importance of it in the fact that you could walk into a room of 100 people and you have to recognize that, you know what, you may not be able to connect with every single one of them, but being able to put that effort into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people out of that 100 is going to pay dividends down the line. Now, today, in my current job and in my current life, I've kind of worked through some things, and there are a couple of people in my life that I have put in that extra effort and I'm really appreciative of. But specifically, there's a couple of people that I really am thankful for because they've made time for me. I've made time for them, and that connection has actually grown into a deeper friendship. Now, I believe that all of us are probably going throughout our daily life and we are leaving opportunities on the table. We're leaving those friendships, those connections on the table because of work, because of school, because of our schedule, because of our routine. We may find different things that are in the way, right? When somebody says, I might be free on Saturday, we say, yeah, I might be free as well, but, maybe we've got X, Y, and Z going on. Maybe we want to do laundry or Netflix and chill, or we just don't want to go out after a week of work. There are tons of different valid, I'm going to say it's valid responses. However, I do think that there are some aspects of it that are beneficial to have those conversations or to get out of our comfort zone and go out to dinner instead of staying in, or going out to meet people instead of staying in. There's that level of connection, that level of camaraderie that's important, right? And at the beginning, I told you I want to talk to you about connection and the intentionality of those connections that are important. And so today, I know it's a shorter conversation, but I'm wondering how many of you have people in your life that have referenced a possibility of hanging out outside of work, or a reference hanging out outside of school, right? Maybe they've said, hey, I do this on the weekends, and that's something that you're not maybe interested in, but you're not opposed to. And that could lead to a deeper conversation. And just as an example, today, I did not see myself having the conversations that I had, but were they beneficial? Absolutely. Were they deeper? Absolutely. Were they better than the surface level of like, hey, what do you do and what do I do on a weekly basis, right? Like, what do you do on a free day? What shows do you watch, or anything like that? There was a benefit to the conversations that took place today. And I think that there's power in that, in being able to have a deeper level, right? You get to a point where it's no longer about, hey, how was your day? What are you up to? And it gets deeper to how do you view life, right? Like on a good day, what establishes it's a good day? On a bad day, what establishes it's a bad day? How do you combat the bad days, right? Is there a mentality or a memento that you lean towards? These are all really good conversations to have. I had a couple of those today, and it really inspired me and it excited me about the rest of the week. And so today, I really just want to challenge you. Who are the people in your life that you're actually intentionally going out of your way to impose yourself into their life, inviting them to things, right? Maybe it's out of the normal. Hey, on a Monday night, do you want to come out to dinner? Hey, on a Monday night, can I cook for you? Hey, on a Thursday night, can I meet you for supper? There are so many avenues, right, that we lean on, like, oh, well, I know it's after the work week. Nobody's going to want to hang out. Nobody's going to want to do anything on this day. So, like, why would I do that? We tend to lean into it. And that's not always the case. That's not always what we need to do. Sometimes we need to think outside of the box and say, hey, these are people too. And I mentioned about going into a room with 100 people and taking the intentional time with 5 of them, right? You may not have the time to have a in-depth conversation with all 100 people in the course of an hour. But if you can have a couple minutes with 5 of them, those 5 people are the ones that you're going to intentionally say, hey, what's going on with you? What's interesting about you? How can I help? How can I serve? How can I be a part of your life? And 1, 2, 3, 4 months down the road, those 5 people are the ones that are going to respond rather than the other 95, right? The other 95, you may have shook their hand and said, nice to meet you. Have a wonderful life. That doesn't devalue the 95 at all. But it does reference the people that you are importing your time and effort into. In life, you're going to run into people who are really busy. Some people are just going to simply be the people that you shake hands and say, hey, it's nice to meet you. And I hope you have a wonderful life. I think some of those people are relationships. So you might meet a girlfriend or a boyfriend who you meet and you love and you appreciate and you say, hey, it's a pleasure to meet you. You inspired me along my way, but we're moving forward. And that's tough, right? That's tough when it's somebody who you want it to work out. You want it to make sense. And then there's going to be other people along the way where you're going to simply say, I really appreciate you. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thanks for having this conversation with me. We should get together and we should talk more about this. Those are the 5, right? The top 5 out of the 95. And I think that when you boil it down, that's the most important, is being able to recognize that the grass is greener where you water it. So who are the people that you're watering? Who are the people that are impacting your life in a way that encourages you to not just want to do better, but do more, right? Who are the people who are encouraging you to go above and beyond what you would imagine or think? Now, that's a difficult conversation, and I think it's one that's valid, and I think it's one that is valuable for you to have for yourself. And that is why that's all I'm going to ask of you right now, right? Is who are those people? I hope you think about this. That's going to do it for this conversation. If you want to follow me on my socials, you can find me on TikTok or you can find me on X, which is formerly known as Twitter, @KyleVi. If you want to find me on Instagram or Threads, it's Kyle_Vaught, V as in Victor, ATT is my last name. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you. And share this with somebody. I really hope that you will share this and encourage somebody who needs to hear it. Overall, I hope you have a wonderful week, and remember to give grace, show love, and as always, stay stellar. Peace.